Good morning. Welcome to Masterclass channel. So in this video, we are going to discuss about 8 questions on semiconductors. So in previous video, we have discussed about what is semiconductors and the different types of semiconductors. So now I will give you just short introduction about semiconductors. Semiconductors are the materials which have the conductivity between the conductors and insulator. So semiconductors can be a pure elements such as germanium or silicon, or compounds such as gallium arsenide GaAs or cadmium selenide. So this is example of semiconductor, right? Let us enter into this problem. A bar of gallium arsenide, that is GaAs, is doped. Doped means impurity. Okay, so is doped with silicon such that the silicon atoms it occupy gallium and arsenic sites in the gallium arsenide crystal. Which one of the following statement is true? So here the condition is a bar of gallium arsenide is doped with silicon. Now your substrate is silicon. Gallium arsenide is doped with here. Okay. Now what will happen? Your silicon atoms it occupy gallium sites and arsenic sites in the gallium arsenide crystal. So which one of the following statement is true? So this problem is based upon true or false case. Okay. So first option, silicon atoms it act as a p-type dopants in arsenic sites and n-type dopants in gallium sites. That is first option. Option B is silicon atoms acts as n-type dopants in arsenic sites and p-type dopant in gallium sites. Option C, silicon atoms acts as p-type dopants in arsenic as well as gallium sites. Option D, silicon atoms act as n-type dopants in arsenic as well as gallium sites. Okay, true or false cases, right? So your answer becomes option A, that is silicon atoms it acts as a p-type dopants in arsenic sites and n-type dopants in gallium sites. This is the correct answer. Okay, let us check how it will be correct. Okay, because you're substituting the gallium sites by silicon atom. Okay, you just keep remembering this term, substituting gallium sites by silicon atoms. It produces a free electrons. Okay, substitute a gallium sites by silicon, it produces a free electrons. So what is that free electron? This is nothing but n type. Okay. Similarly, when you substitute arsenic sites by silicon atoms, it will produce a hole. So this is a keyword for you. Hole means p type. So this is the general condition for when you add the gallium and arsenide in silicon atom. Okay. So gallium site by silicon, it produces the number of electrons, that is we call it n type. Substituting a arsenic sites by silicon atom, it produces a number of free holes, we call it as p type. So the answer becomes option A. Okay, option A is here. Silicon atoms act as a p-type dopant in arsenic. Look at this case. In arsenic, it became p. In gallium, it became n. And n-type dopant in gallium sites. Okay. So once you know this condition, you can easily able to answer for this question. Okay. Once again, I repeat. When gallium site is added by silicon atoms, it becomes n-type. When arsenic site added by the silicon, it becomes p-type. Okay. Next problem. When the optical power incident on photodiode is 10 microwatts, optical power. Okay. and the optical power incident on a photodiode is 10 microwatts and the responsivity is 0.8 amp per watt. The photocurrent generated in terms of microamp is dash. Okay, option A 2, option B 4, option C 6, option D 8. Okay, here the answer becomes option D, that is 8. 8 microamp is the correct answer. Okay, let us check. The responsivity is defined as the formula for responsivity. Okay, is defined as R which is equal to IP by P. Okay, IP by P. Responsivity formula is R equal to IP by P, where P is the optical power incident on photodiode. That is P. IP is nothing but photocurrent. So responsivity is defined as the ratio of photocurrent to the optical power incident on photodiode. That is the definition of responsivity. Okay, R which is equal to IP by P. So from this we find out IP because we need to calculate here photocurrent only. Okay, responsivity is also given and power, optical power incident on the photodiode value is also given. So from this formula I find out IP. So IP which is equal to R into P, that is P into R. Okay, so here the power incident on photodiode is 10 microwatts. So I put here 10 microwatts. Multiply with the responsivity value. Responsivity value is 0.8 amp per watts. So 0.8 amp per watts. Okay, so 10 micro means 10 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Okay, into 0.8. So 0.8 amp. So 0.8. So 10 into 0.8 is 8. So 8 into 10 power minus 6 amp. So answer becomes 8 microamps because the questions are asked in terms of we find out the photocurrent in terms of microamp only. Okay, so I calculated it in terms of microamp. So look at this answer. Where is it? 8. Yeah, option D. They are having the 8. So answer option D is the correct one. Okay, so 8 microamp is the correct one. Okay, so let us see the one more problem also. Right, in a figure in Pi, that is incident power, is plotted as a function of 1 by T, where Pi is the intrinsic resistivity of silicon. Okay, that is nothing but not Pi, rho I. Okay, is the intrinsic resistivity of the silicon. Capital T is the temperature. And the plot is almost linear graph. Okay, look at this graph. So the graph is drawn between ln of rho I versus 1 by T. So this line it represents almost it is look like linear graph only. Okay. Now the slope of the line can be used to estimate dash. This slope of the line can be used to estimate dash. Option A, band gap energy of silicon Eg. Okay, that means the slope of this line can be used to estimate band gap energy of silicon. Option B, sum of electrons and hole mobility in silicon. That is sum of electron and hole mobility. It means mu n plus mu p. So mu n is the electron mobility, mu p is the hole mobility. Option C is reciprocal of the sum of electron and hole mobility. That is 1 by mu n plus mu p. Option D, intrinsic carrier concentration of silicon. Okay, so now you need to find out the slope of this line. It can be used to estimate dash. Okay, answer become option A. It is used to estimate band gap energy of a silicon. Okay, let us check this answer. I'll give you the explanation for this answer. No problem. So here the given plot is between ln of rho I, that is resistivity, into 1 by T. Isn't it? Our graph is drawn between ln of rho I versus 1 by T. Yeah, correct. Now see this condition. As temperature increases, what will happen? energy gap, that is Eg, will be decreases. Okay, so due to decrease in Eg, our electron hole pair generation, it will be get increases. So now conductivity, that is sigma, it will be increases. Okay, this is a condition. I will be represented in terms of short form. See, this is the diagram. At temperature increases, energy gap decreases. You keep in your mind. Temperature increases, energy gap will be decreases. Due to this energy gap decreases, our electron and hole pair generation can be increases. Okay, due to energy gap decreases, our electron and hole pair generation will be get increases. So conductivity can get increases. Conductivity automatically get increases. Now what will happen? Our rho, that is resistivity, is decreases because conductivity increases means resistivity decreases. Rho will be decreases. So again, in short form, you can say as temperature increases, our resistivity decreases. That's it. It is simple formula for you. Okay. So temperature increases, resistivity is decreases. But our graph is drawn between 1 by T, not T. Isn't it? 1 by T. So it means 1 by T, it will get increases. So what will happen? Now your resistivity is also get increases because 1 by T, reciprocal of time period. This T value get increases means resistivity is also get increases. This is a reverse process. Okay. So our log of rho I, when you take the log value here, it will also get increases. Okay. So our graph is plot is almost it is become linear because both will be get increases. Okay. So our plot will be get increases. So the slope of this plot, it is used to find out the energy gap, that is energy band gap. Okay, that is Eg. Am I clear? So here among this answer, A is the correct one. So the best to estimate band gap energy of silicon, that is Eg. Band gap energy of a silicon, Eg. Okay. So once again I will repeat. As temperature increases, energy gap decreases. Due to the energy gap decreases, our electron and hole pair generation will get increases. Okay, so the conductivity again increases. So when conductivity increases, the resistivity is decreases. Okay, simply you can say as temperature can increases, resistivity decreases. So, but in our problem, 1 by T will be given. So 1 by T is increases, resistivity is also get increases. Okay, so your plot will become almost linear. So the slope of this plot can be used to determine the band gap, that is Eg. Okay, Eg of a silicon. Okay, thank you students. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.